against my fellow bushy blobs of subatomic building blocks. Mesons, fall over the plants, hoarder fuel bricks, and as always, berserk for Legos. Alright. Welcome to my second ever Lego City update. And this is the first time y'all get to see the boutique hotel in its full entirety. Yeah, one thing that I've added down here is just a little river stream that borders right next to the boutique hotel. A way to make a nice little bridge that makes it easier for like the bicycles and the little carts and stuff like that, so they're not scraping on the bottom as they're driving over the ramp. And the other thing I was trying to do was make sure there was enough headroom so that if anybody was going through with some little boats. So this water technique is what I came up with. And first time I showed it was in the swimming pool in the boutique hotel. But this was down here is where I first created it. And as you can see, I can just kind of slide that out of the way. But it's full depth, which means I can put stuff underneath the water or inside the water. There's like a little frog right there, even though frogs don't. I don't think frogs at the bottom of the water because they need to breathe, but yeah. Of course, I gotta say this over and over again, just for people who are new here. This is Paradisa City, a city of the future, and one of the things about the future is that transportation is completely different than today's cities. And so most of the city services, like emergency, police, garbage, public transports, shipping, industries type stuff, construction, that is all traveling through these underground, subterranean, autonomous roadways. So you notice the little robotic sensor in the very front of all my vehicles, and that's because they can drive autonomously. They're not being operated at all by humans, except in special circumstances. And the cars just run along by themselves, but they're also being coordinated by a centralized supercomputer traffic manager that runs all traffic throughout the entire city. And so with that level of precision, all these cars are able to travel in a very compact formation. They all know exactly what each other are doing down to the millisecond. So there's no stop signs, there's no traffic lights. They all just fluidly coordinate with each other, and they'll either speed up or slow down to accommodate all the different vehicles in the area. And if you're new to my channel, you'll notice that there's a lot of plants, and that's because Paradisa City is a tropical city. So I haven't made a whole lot of progress since the last update that I made. I actually ended up having to disassemble the city and kind of move it out of the way for quite some time. So I did make some upgrades to the tables and added some extra reinforcements. This table here finally got its top layer added to it, because each row of tables is going to get terraced. So this table back here will be 2 bricks taller than this table, and then whenever I add the next set of tables, it'll be 2 bricks lower. So I did rotate the Grand Emporium, the Craft Emporium. Turned it to face this way towards the hospital. And same with the corner garage, I rotated that around. And the Parisian restaurant got turned around. And now we can actually see the stained glass window right there. And there's a painter that her studio is up here, and she gets all her inspiration for her paintings when the light shines through that stained glass window. And if you go see my Grand Emporium video, you'll know that she has an art studio, I think on the 3rd floor of the Grand Emporium. So the corner garage has a nice little studio apartment that's 2 floors tall. There's a bedroom up there. And of course it has the veterinarian, and instead of a garage, it's a garage for electric scooter vehicles. So there's 2 little charging stations right there. You can see a little scooter that is getting charged. And that's one of the reasons why I rotated this corner garage, is because I wanted to have an access road disappearing off into the background, because previously it was kind of running this way. Didn't really have good access to it. So previously I had the water canal running through here, and that was just kind of a temporary experiment at the time. But a lot of people liked it, so I was like, all right, I'm definitely keeping it. So it got moved over to here, and the reason why I decided not to have it here is because it was kind of heading off towards where I planned to have the music festival right at the beach. So eventually there will be a music festival. Now there was a table right here, and I just kind of temporarily moved it out of the way because I don't have anything to place on it yet, and it was just kind of didn't need to be in the way yet. One other thing that you'll notice is that in my first Lego City update, these were all hollow, but now they're fully built out. There's no interiors on them, but they've all got, the basements are all completely built out. And in these basements are basically the same strategy that I used in all the other basements, which is basically storage. There's probably like, for the Parisian restaurant, there's a walk-in freezer for storing food. But a lot of these businesses don't have room to store their stuff, so it gets stored down here. And that's where the shipping vehicles will come along and deliver and drop off, all the supplies that the businesses need. And actually on the opposite side of this basement area, there's actually some shipping doors. Here's my Vault nightclub. It used to be a bank, but there was a tragic accident. A fire burned out the 3rd floor. For many years it kind of sat abandoned. Then a nightclub owner came along and bought it, completely restored it, decided to not rebuild the 3rd floor, and instead turned it into an open-air dance floor up at the very top. Yeah. And up here on top of the Palace Cinema is an outdoor bar. Palace Cinema has an elevator. This is part of my exotic colored cars, where I build Lego cars using Lego colors that are poorly represented, or maybe they're brand new colors, or colors that Lego doesn't make very many pieces out of. So it's quite a challenge trying to scrounge up available pieces just to make a car. So it's not easy. Alright, so just to rehash this craft emporium, first floor is a banana bread bakery. Second floor is an art print studio where he sells custom art prints, basically using the video tiles. Up here is the art gallery for the painter that resides, has their studio up there. Then there is a pot plant store, so there's pottery that goes on in here. There's some pottery wheels, there's a kiln for making all the freshly made pots. And then of course, these top 2 floors is a plant store, of course. Got a billboard for Puma suedes, epic, iconic shoes. You guys might notice that I have completely rebuilt my eVTOL air ambulance medevac. It's now using the new vibrant yellow colors. Made a lot of improvements to that. I've actually made a ton of improvements, especially to the basement area of the hospital. So eventually there'll be a video showing that. So the ER room got improved, got a little bit bigger, improved the kitchen. Oh, the other thing I did was for the what is that, the 7th floor? Yeah, I think the 7th floor. I never finished making the radiation therapy room where they zap the patients with radiation to kill the cancer. And I finally got around to making that machine. It actually looks really cool. I'm really liking how that radiation machine came out. Of course, I based it off of pictures from real machines. Here is our Instagram travel couple right there. And there's a little drone that's taking some video shots of them. So this area right in front of the Craft Emporium and the hospital, I'm considering putting a large plaza right there. And one thing I want to do with the plaza is to have a bunch of food trucks. That was always the plan, is to have food trucks kind of circling around in the plaza. And I've actually remocked the pizza van from I think like 2017, 2018. Turned that into like an autonomous mobile food vehicle. The other thing that I did is I raised up all the basement, made it 2 bricks taller, and the reason for that is because I was having a bit of issues with getting all the tall vehicles. So you can see that this crane is able to fit in there nicely, as well as the garbage trucks, because they got to pick up these dumpsters and garbage cans. Oh, and by the way, this is a new garbage truck. It's very similar to the first one, but this one's got a front loading, and it's specific for dumpsters. For businesses that don't have the autonomous one. So my coach bus, all the shipping containers that I've created, as well as the large shipping trucks, they all had to be designed and coordinated with the height of the basement. So here you can see the shipping trailer right there. And it had to be designed to fit inside of it had to be designed to fit within the basement level. Alright, one other thing you'll notice is that in my original video, that basement over there was under construction, and now it's pretty much complete. There's no interior on it yet. But that is for my new skyscraper that I'm working on. And it's actually a lot taller than this. There's 2 floors that go on top of that, but I couldn't get the garbage bag over the entire thing. So I took the top 2 floors off. But it's been like that for quite some time. I actually started building this back in early 2021, right after I'd finished making the hospital. I had already started working on this. But a bunch of other projects, yeah, that's you, boutique hotel, keep getting in the way, and I keep putting this aside. But I have made some progress lately. I've done some structural improvements as well as some aesthetic improvements. But right now it's pretty much just a hollow shell. So the plan is, after I finish the bookstore, to majorly focus on that. And then once I'm done with this apartment building, the next major thing I need to work on is the hyperpod level, the transportation stations for the hyperpods. So that's the entire boutique hotel. We have the Glass House Cafe. There's a restaurant on the 2nd floor. There's a pool on the 3rd floor. We have the regular hotel rooms on the 4th floor, and the 5th floor is 2 penthouse suites. And this Instagram couple gets to stay at this penthouse suite free because it's part of their promotion. So another thing to note is that this little cluster of buildings right here will eventually get moved forward to the table in front. And then once I get more skyscrapers built, I've got a ton more skyscrapers already planned out. Not designed, but just I know what I want to make. So those will get shifted forward. And then there will be a music festival, Coachella style music festival, right by the beach. And the reason why I want to have the boutique hotel over here is because eventually there'll be another table over here. There'll be a waterfall that's coming down from some cliffs. A big river will emanate from that. It'll flow right past the boutique hotel. That's why I wanted to have this little river stream running in this direction instead. So I do have a bunch of other modulars that haven't been touched yet. I'm currently working on the bookstore. And then I'll have to work on the police station. There's the diner. The diner is one of those things that's going to get moved closer to the beach. And I have the assembly square. I have the police station. So yeah, that is Paradisa City 2.0. Not a lot of major changes, just mostly added the boutique hotel. Still working on that apartment tower. About 80% done with the bookstore. And as you guys know from my community post, I am almost done with a luxury villa, which I'm absolutely loving. And you know what? It's like right over here to my left. But I'm not going to show you. No. is only a fraction of what it's going to be. So if you like tropical cities, and if you like futuristic cities, this is the city for you. And another reminder for the newbies, down here is another subterranean transportation level, and this is what people will use instead of cars, and it's what I call the hyperpod system. Go watch that video. And down here is going to be the terminals for the Hyperloop and the cargo Hyperloop. So major cargo transportation hub down here, as well as the passenger Hyperloop. Here there will be a bunch of terminals or stations where you can get on and off of these little individual hyperpod cars. And there's no traffic. It's all fully automated, straight to your destination. It goes 140 miles an hour. And you can get across the city in just 8 minutes. Alright, I also want to mention that the boutique hotel is 2 bricks lower than the back set of tables. So that's something that I'll be working on in the future, is connecting all this together. One reason I didn't connect it yet is because the apartment building is not even finished yet. So I haven't really finalized what exactly I'm going to do as far as the sidewalk going through there. But just temporarily, I added these 2 ramps to kind of connect this walkway over to the boutique hotel. Of course, eventually the stream will get longer, and when these get moved, the stream will be able to cut. The stream will be able to go through this section uninterrupted. So again, things aren't really finalized, they're just ad hoc, kind of put in place just as the beginnings of the city. As I add more and more to the city, things will kind of get finalized. Now, one of the things that I like to do is add a lot of neon or fluorescent elements, and I'm going to be adding more. I actually don't think I've done enough, but very much like the future, very much like a Tron style, like the Tron movies, where there's lines of light that decorate everything. So I just got So instead of that flashlight, I just bought a UV light bulb, and here you can see all the lights on the roadways all lighting up. Actually, I got a set of lights, yeah. See on the basement? Stripe of lights. Boom. Ooh, nice. Awesome. But yeah, I need to do more for adding neon fluorescent lights. Nice. It's the first time seeing these light up. And that's another reason why I always add trans neon yellow. I like to call it trans neon yellow because it looks more yellowish to me, but it's actually trans neon green. Yup. Alright, there you have it, folks. That is Paradisa City. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys think. And I'll check you guys later.